You truly belong here with us among the clouds. Everyone's invited, of course. I've just made a deal that'll keep the Empire out of here forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 1 of the Cloud City Casuals, where we're going to play a little bit of Star Wars Destiny, but not in the conventional way of trying to compete for the top of the meta. Instead, we're going to throw a little casual fun in the action and try things that most people are afraid to do, or afraid to go to new places. My name is Hoover, and I'll have my co-hosts introduce themselves as well.
My name is Marty, the dice rolling player.
No one calls him that. Not
no.
a single person on this planet calls him that.
Is it
One person does, myself,
is that player with an ER or with an A, like playa?
with an A.
Okay, well, I'm Nick, the 2-dice wonder, because I play decks that involve 2 character dice, and they're never Palpatine.
That's a sadly true statement. Actually, I can confirm that is a sadly true statement. And I'm Patty. I am the voice of reason, except for I'm not reasonable whatsoever.
He's just louder.
So a big thing here, I want to get this out of the way real quick before we get too far. We're going to try to keep this as family-friendly and as safe for work as possible. But we're 4 very mature adults,
Immature.
and sometimes we use very mature language in a very immature way. So be warned, we're going to try to edit ourselves, we're going to try to catch ourselves, but whoopsie-doopsie.
There will be... That's a good...
Whoopsie-doopsie is a great term.
Whoopsie's a good, like, bleep for when we do mess up. I really just wanted to say F up there. Just to give an example.
Just to mess with your editing work later, Nick.
Yes, alright. So, we are the Star Wars Destiny podcast, made by Filthy Casuals, for Filthy Casuals. This episode is our pilot episode, which will also be titled The Phantom Podcast, because it's the first episode. And it also illustrates how other channels, like Knights of Ren, Double Blanks Gaming, there's a lot of other ones, Jedi Trials, they're like the OG trilogy, and we're like the Phantom Menace.
And just like the Phantom Menace, this is going to be a rambling mess, so buckle your seatbelts, folks.
Absolutely, we're going to have Jar Jar in this business. And not just the card.
I love that card.
I know.
6. Alright, so, we've never done this before, but we have a format that we're going to try. I forgot what it was.
What he
All
means
right.
by we've never done this before, he means we've never done anything organized before.
No.
He's not wrong. So we'll start this out today. We're going to talk about our favorite casual characters that we love to play with in the current
Whoa.
meta before Way of the Force.
Yes, but the first thing
Oh.
is ourselves introducing, which we just did.
Which
And then now we're going to introduce our background to
We should-
CCGs.
probably also define what the term casual means. Casual
Yes.
means a lot of things to a lot of people, and in our terms, casual is that goofy, fun character or deck or archetype that's not going to win anything besides maybe your local weekly. You can take it to your local weekly. You can bring some 4-wide nonsense vehicle list and go 3-1 and have a lot of fun with it. But if you bring it to a store champs, theoretically you're going to go maybe 2-3.
Wow, shots fired.
Wow. I'm sorry I don't play everything correct.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm
However,
sorry.
if you bring Kylo to Bala, you will perform much the same. Much. Alright, so, casual definitions. For me, it's kind of hard because I play every casual deck like it's a competitive deck.
He puts the filthy in filthy casual.
I really do. So, casual is for people who play the game because they like the game and they want to have fun. And they don't have to have ancient lightsabers and they don't have to have, like, force speed. They don't have to play Sabine or, like, Yoda or... I feel like I just called out some characters. What?
I said good characters.
Good characters. And you don't have to play to win. You just play for fun. And you like trying new things, new character combinations that other people, like, you haven't really seen much of. And winning takes the backseat to enjoying the game. And that's what my definition for us is. Just like being successful with our procedures in this podcast takes a backseat to having fun and being stupid.
We only do that latter part.
Yep.
Hey, Marty.
My idea of casual is playing the top meta lists in a casual way. Incorrectly playing them with cards that shouldn't be included, playing them unconventionally.
What was your good quote I heard about this the other day? Giving a child a hand grenade?
Exactly. I like to give children hand grenades. Like silent member of the Cloud City Casuals who's not here, the Tommy D, was playing Ray
Legend.
Ayla. And the moves that he was making with Ray Ayla would make any competent meta player cringe. But it doesn't matter because he still gets wins, and by wins I mean win.
And he had fun.
And he had fun. That's what's important. You have the big cards, you have the big characters, but the most important part of the game is having fun and also winning.
And
At least
don't
for me.
Also winning.
Don't forget about the legendary Tommy D's signature move. He'll always have an answer.
He always has an answer. There's always something we can do. That's the Tommy D creed, and it's a creed that we will live by.
For the rest of our lives.
Very true. And just to wrap it up, my version of casual is just trying to get your favorite character into the game as much as possible. So if you're going to keep throwing that Luke Skywalker card from the starter set, forcing him in every deck you can to try and get wins, because my first regional was Obi-2 and this new Luke at 1 die. Did it do good? No, but it beat 2 Obi-Mazas. I'll take that.
And I played Kylo 2 Anakin right when it came out and did as well as you did with it. So if that says anything.
He's just trying to say he played it before it was cool.
No, I'm
Hoover,
saying...
I think what you just did is what we in the business refer to as a segue?
I know, it's a shocking
Oh, it's
statement.
crazy. Something competent on this podcast.
Right? So, as Patty was referring to, the segue into our favorite casual character from the current meta, whether it be Legacies beforehand. You know, we're not talking about Way of the Force just yet. Everyone has done that and beaten that dead horse 1,000 times over. So I'll start it off. Why do I love Luke? Because he's a starter character, first off. You don't have to chase him in any of the packs. But secondly, his power action's just dirty. You can put anything that has a focus on him, get that Jedi robes on there, turn 1, get those 2 shields. If you get those resources, power action for that 3 focus.
What is his power action?
Power action is spend 2 resources, resolve one of his character dice or upgrade dice, and increase it by 2.
It's pretty good power action.
It's not bad. I still think there's fun ways to improve Luke in the future sets, and right now, Luke has been my favorite character. Pat?
No, my favorite character. So I'm an OG Destiny player. I've been playing since pre-release. No big deal. No big deal. Hold your applause, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite character has to be my man Django. Django Fett, the Jangs. I have played him with every color combination in every way, shape, and form.
All 6 of them.
All 6 of them. Hey, Django does some work. So the big thing about Django, if you've never seen Django Fett before, whenever your opponent activates a character, you may roll in Django. That is ludicrous. That is free action cheating. Sabine before Sabine. Cad Bane before Cad Bane. That is crazy shenanigans. You play him with some General Veers back in OG Awakenings. Make everybody terrified. You play him with the troopers. You got Django and the boys.
Django Fett and the Funky Bunch.
Django Fett and the Funky Bunch. That's the real reason I love Django Fett, everybody, is I just love making fake R&B and hip-hop groups based around Django. Django and the Boys, Django and the Funky Bunch, Django's with Attitude, JWAs.
Beautiful.
Every color combination.
WS.
I don't think I saw your Django Jawa deck.
Ooh, that's a challenge. I will take that challenge. Next time, I'll bring some Django Jawas.
Let's do it.
Fortified.
I'll lose.
Beautiful.
Spoiler alert. Nick.
Well, my favorite. Well, let's do Marty first because mine can segue into something else that we already skipped because
You're really
everyone was so
forcing
proud.
those segues.
No,
Look,
like
formats
mall
don't
cops.
matter, Nick. Formats are like pants.
I do-
They're just a guideline. They're just a suggestion.
let's just do Marty then.
All right,
Nick just wants to beat me again because that's what he does.
That's not what I.
That's
what I do.
It's all he does. It's all right.
God rolls for days.
My favorite casual character, at least in this current meta, is going to be Wedge Antilles because I think his power action, which is turn a vehicle die to any side, is really underrated. And one of my favorite decks to play him in is Wedge with E-Rose and a Jetta Partisan. And I just noticed from playing that deck right away, with all the help that Hero Vehicles gets to put down big vehicles, especially when you have a 3-cost vehicle with a big old giant indirect side, you can get off a lot of damage very quickly. I'm talking 9 to 12 indirect on turn 1 with Wedge's power action and including Rose's power action. A lot of good cards to help out indirect damage and legacies. My favorite being... Now I'm going to blank on the name, but the one that lets you spend 1 and turn 2 dice to side showing indirect damage.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
locked and loaded. And especially in that deck, it's so good. Not to mention the fact that you have the Jetta there helping Wedge sack cards from the top of the deck. But Wedge Antilles, I think, is a character moving forward that could do a lot of things because you're getting a lot of new vehicles coming in future sets. and I just love playing vehicle decks. So any card that's going to make vehicle decks more consistent, because vehicle decks are always not too consistent, is going to be helpful. And I also like his cost. The fact that he's 11-15 and an 11-point wedge can still do things because his power action is really what makes the card.
See, that's some synergistic picking. Hoover and I just pick characters for the standalone abilities. Marty's thinking big picture already.
I always think big.
That's how he rolls.
Let's bring it back to the small picture, shall we?
Oh, the smallest
All right.
picture.
So my favorite casual with the white.
Oh, that 8-bit.
8-bit. The 8-bit. My the tiniest picture of all.
Pixels so big you can taste
No,
them.
which is funny because I have an 8-bit art of my favorite casual character.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I won it at the Overcost event.
Shout out to Irabel. Thank you for making those amazing cards.
That was amazing. So my favorite casual
Shout out to everybody
character.
that listens to this.
Yeah, shout outs to you. You're the true MVP.
All 4 of us listening to this after the fact, and no one else.
Don't
My
don't
dad.
lie, guys.
5.
I'm the only one who's going to be listening to it because I have to edit it.
You're not wrong.
I'm
Alright.
gonna get grounded after this.
Yeah, my parents are going to be so angry.
Adult male grounded.
Mortimer.
He still owns the house I live in.
That's
even
true.
though it's just not the house that he lives in.
Oh, God. Marty rolling with the dollars.
Rolling.
All right, Nick,
all right.
take us home.
I don't know where home is. All right, so my favorite casual character is Spirit of the Rebellion, Darth Vader. He has 4 damage sides. 3 of them are 2 or higher. He hits like a truck. I love edgelords. I am an edgelord, and it's just so much fun to activate him and roll like 6 damage on specials or sticks and throw stupid upgrades on him like Force Lightning or Electro Staffs. And just hits like a truck. And his special is, so he has 1 range, 2 stick, 3 stick with the cost, disrupt, and then the special, which is deal 3 damage to a character and deal 1 to himself, which makes him a glass cannon, but that's my favorite way to play most games. Speaking of most games and Baby Vader, so we wanted to talk about how our history with like trading card games, CCGs, our backgrounds with it. We were going to go over it when we were introducing ourselves, but we forgot because we suck.
Whoa. We just don't follow guidelines.
That's
We're very
true.
bad at following
Yes.
rules.
I remembered, so
Even
I don't
rules
suck.
that we ourselves wrote.
Especially
it's-
Patty.
It's insane.
Just edit it in the correct order.
Yeah, so...
We're going to make a note
But that
here.
would kill my sick, nasty segue.
Let's go ahead and just put a public
Thank
note
God.
here to edit this, and it's not going to get edited.
Nope. So, my history with trading card games. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was like 10, and then that's about it.
Did you ever summon Exodia?
I never owned Exodia. I did actually. They used to have those little gumball fake Yu-Gi-Oh! Card machines at the Pizza Hut by my house, and I got 5 fake cardboard Exodia cards for like $1.25.
Are they all the same? Please tell me they were all
They
like,
were. They were
his
all different.
arm, his right arm.
I did have like 5 of his right arm though, and then 1 of each other thing.
I'd like to insert a caveat here. You don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays you.
That's a good point, actually.
It's true.
You're welcome.
So when I was like a little kid, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I collected Pokemon cards when I was super young, but I never really played trading card games, and I never really enjoyed them because a lot of my friends were super into like Magic, or some of them were really good at playing the Pokemon card game, or even really good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And every time I would play them, it would be them taking a 15-minute turn as their first turn, where they essentially just win, and it wasn't fun for me.
For our old listeners, we call that a Qui-Gon Ray.
Yes.
Taking a 15-minute turn 1.
Yep. And then winning. But Patty was the manager at a store that I still work at. He no longer works there. But
Nope.
It's a game store. And he brought in Star Wars Destiny once. And we played a little. I think it was just the 2 starters, the originals, the Kylo Ren
It was
starter.
actually the pre-release. It was before any sets were out, and I had purchased the 2 starters and sleeved them up so we could teach people how to play to get people interested. And I proceeded to do that with our entire staff and no one else, because no one else wanted to learn how to play.
Nope. But it was super fun, and I liked it a lot. And it fixed most of the things that I don't like about other trading card games, like the mana cost thing and the really long turns. So we played that a little bit. I didn't really do anything else with it for a few months until one day I was available on one of our Star Wars Destiny event nights, and Patty brought OG Palp, and I went 4-0 with him. and got 4 packs of Spirit. Opened 2 Baby Vaders in a row, laughed about it, and then Patty looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You know, if you buy the Kylo starter, you can make one of the top tier decks right now, right?"
Good old emo kids.
And I did, and that's how I started playing.
And to your point about saying why you didn't like the other card games is that you would lose all the time, you found someone in me that you could beat consistently.
Yes.
Almost every time. So that also helped you get into the game. You're welcome.
Because if you give me a die with 5 blanks and 1 2 melee side on it, I will roll 4 melee on Marty every time with it.
It's
Every
weird.
time.
This works.
It's really weird. So, Marty, what games have you played?
My background is similar. I didn't get into trading card games until a little bit later on in my life. I don't have a background in Magic or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Vanguard. I have a...
Cardfight Vanguard. Shout out.
my background is in Dice Masters, the superhero card and dice game, and anything that has cards and dice is very attractive to me, which is why I was attracted to Destiny. And at the same time, Patty was getting into it. He got me into it and allowed me to buy more packs than he probably was allowed to by the company, but I still did. And it was phenomenal. And I started playing it and got in at the very beginning, before the very beginning, when Awakening packs were like gold or...
They're like Willy Wonka candy bars with golden tickets in them.
Yep.
yeah.
We had a limit. Couldn't have a lot of it. That's why I was the Pusha T of trading card games.
Exactly, yeah. Or like battle droids and legacies. They were just hard to find. The other background... Well, I guess I already talked about my Dice Masters background, but my beginning in Destiny was just playing casually, and then we started doing the nights consistently, and... once again, to hit on my latter points, is just that I lost a lot, and I know how to lose. That's why I'm here, to give you the knowledge, because I feel like you can learn more from losing than you can from winning. And the only reason I say that is because I don't win very often.
So he hasn't learned much from
You have
winning.
to be who you are.
Profit from loss.
You have to be
Profit
who you
from
are.
loss,
Power
everybody.
from
And
pain.
the Cleveland Browns are still a marketable franchise,
My favorite football team.
and that's who I am. I am the McCown of Destiny.
Oh.
That's a
There
lot
we
of
go.
meat.
Strong words. Strong words. So, Hoover, why don't you tell everybody how I got you into Destiny?
Actually, you did.
You didn't, actually.
Well, he did by proxy because me and Marty got you.
You're not wrong.
Look at that. I sold to the dealers that sold to you. That's a supply chain.
That's
That makes
Walter
us
White.
the middleman.
Yeah,
That's Walter White.
that's Walter White right there. So,
Breaking Destiny.
Breaking Destiny. Welcome to the new podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Teach you how to make that
I
clear
am the
blue
man
sky.
who rolls dice.
Yes. I am the one who rolls. So, my startup in CCGs, like Nick, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger. Didn't really get into that competitive style, still throwing giant monsters into decks. It wasn't until later on when I wanted to start learning about the Pokemon card game, which I got into around XY when that came out. I got into competitive Pokemon, running fun shenanigans decks, and I learned to love the gimmick decks because those top tier meta decks with all the EX cards were costing hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and that just kind of turned me off from top tier competitive, so I'd always try to find fun random ways to pull out victories. But again, for Pokemon, college budget, it was just hard to keep up with all the new cards and new packs, so unfortunately I had to give up that pastime. Then I went back to Yu-Gi-Oh! For a super short while competitive scene when my new college friends were huge into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I built that good old Blue Eyes and Fluffle decks and just had some fun shenanigans time because, again, shenanigans is my name of the game.
Sounds like a delicious snack food. What's a fluffle?
A Fluffle is a possessed teddy bear or a possessed stuffed animal. Basically, it's a whole bunch of toys.
I'm no longer interested if it's not a delicious snack food.
You're not wrong. They evolve into Freight Furs. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a weird game. When you lose turn 2.
You lose, you do.
You're not wrong. So, basically, I got into Destiny because Target was doing a buy 2 get 1 free board game sale. So I bought 2 board games that I actually wanted to get, and then Nick and Marty had been pushing me to buy Destiny for the longest time. So I got it for free because I'm like, why not? Let's open this 2-player starter. And a month later, I go over to Nick and say, hey, teach me how to play this game that's been sitting on my shelf for a month. We played it once. I got hooked. And, yeah, R2-P2 was where I stuck for a while until Legacies come out. So that is when I started, was actually when Legacies was officially released.
Hoover did the reverse. He Benjamin buttoned it. He started with top tier and then just slid down backwards.
But he made his R2P2 strictly out of like the 2-player starter and a handful of packs.
That's still good enough.
That's still pretty solid.
Still
R2P2.
good enough.
In that meta, that's all you had to do.
That really was it.
Teamwork is a quality upgrade.
Pick regional wins off the shelf.
Yep.
That's
It was
very
a
true.
beautiful time. So where are we going now? We
Well, if you want to hear my history, this would be an entire podcast
No.
because I am the oldest and the dorkiest. I've played.
By like 2 months, the oldest.
Yes, but by like a long shot, the dorkiest.
That's true.
So I played, just a short list, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, the Harry Potter TCG.
There's a Harry Potter team?
Yes, there
it's
was.
Phenomenal.
I played a couple different Star Wars TCGs, including the Decipher. I played WWE Raw Deal. That was a game. Actually had really
That
cool mechanics.
sounds like a raw deal.
That game had legit, really sweet mechanics. We could talk about it later.
Okay.
Shout out to CX3 still promoting that game.
Those that game. Someone needs to do some sort of revival for it. So that was sweet.
It sounds like you are right now.
I played some Buffy the Vampire Player TCG.
Ooh,
I
that
know.
sounds interesting.
I
Buffy
played
the
card-
Vampire Player. That's a great. It's a knockoff. Sarah Michelle wasn't involved.
Let's see here. I played some Card Fight Vanguard. I did. So yeah, I've been all over the place, but I was a super competitive Magic player. Played it semi-professionally. You can't hear my air quotes, but I did like extra air quotes on that one.
He did it with all 8 fingers.
All 8 fingers.
I got no thumbs. Make shuffling my cards extra hard. So I would go to like the Pro Tour qualifiers and the GPs and the diamond events from TCG, and I would occasionally top 8, but I sucked and I put way more money into it than I got out of it. So I needed to break that habit before I was in the poorhouse. Now I'm just in a house and I'm poor, but it's not the poor house, so it's a step up. So yeah, I've been all over the place. I got
Shout out
everybody
to the
into Destiny.
Jeffersons.
Shout out to what?
The Jeffersons moving on
Ooh,
up.
to the east side.
Started
Alright.
from the bottom now. We're still pretty close to the bottom.
Start from the bottom, now we're here,
In
which
middle,
is,
lower middle.
yeah, lower middle. We can see the bottom from our house.
Yeah. I can too. I can see it from outside. All right.
All right, and that pretty much covers who we are, where we've been, what we like, occasionally some good things.
Yeah, trash, and more trash.
Whoa. You forgot trash.
Which is this
I did.
podcast.
And if we have a 5th trash, we automatically win the trash game because we have all 5 pieces of trash.
Let's talk about our store champs. 'Cause we went to a store champ last week, didn't we, guys?
did.
Nice segue.
That was a terrible segue. Let's keep
let's
going.
see.
Anything that cuts Nick off is a great segue. I know what you're talking about.
You're not wrong.
So we went to a store
We
champ.
did.
So I, being the filthy competitive player I am, I brought 7th Sister Boba Fett
Ooh,
because I hadn't played in a while and I didn't want to use my brain.
Justification.
that's fair.
What'd you play, Hoover?
So in the words of Patty, I played some 4-wide nonsense.
The widest nonsense.
So my version of the 4-wide vehicles, which is somewhat similar to Taxer's list, that he went top 16 at Worlds with. Instead of a hired gun, I went with Maz. And because we dropped down that Millennium Falcon Maz combo was really fun. You get almost a guaranteed 3-4 damage off. I had 4 winnable games, and I only won 2 of them. I lost 3 because I am not great against Yoda Hondo.
What were the characters in your deck? You said you were playing some Maz.
I did play some Maz. It was a rookie pilot. It was Maz. It was Ezra, and then that Temple Guard. Because everyone knows that episode of Clone Wars where a Temple Guard took over a Y-Wing and flew it around the galaxy.
Yep, it was a good episode. Marty.
My store championship experience was more similar to Patty's than it was to Hoover's, as I played a meta deck, almost a card-for-card copy of the Thrawn Talzin that went top 4 in Worlds.
Feels good not having to think sometimes. You played a
Unfortunately,
complicated deck, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it was a complicated deck, much too complicated for me. But thankfully, I took a loss early to the man who would go on to go 5-0. So he helped my strength of schedule very much. Shout out to that guy.
Real MVP.
He
Real
was
MVP.
he was a real MVP of my Thrawn Talzin experience. And then as I consistently lost games in the store championship, I went on to terrorize unexperienced players, which is what I do best. If you don't know how to play the game, I will teach you how to play by beating you. repeatedly, and then once you get to a level where you can consistently beat me like Nick, then I will just shame you for it, unadulteratedly and unapologetically.
I think it was about the first month of my experience with the game that Marty beat me every single time. And then there was one Vader Phasma game that I won, and then it just didn't stop.
See, really, that's the theme of this podcast, is profiting from your losses, taking your losses, learning from them, knowing how to improve yourself. Like what we're going to do, where we're going to listen to this podcast, we're going to hear all of our audio losses, and then continue making those mistakes.
Except for episode 2, because we might record that after this. So,
Kayfabe.
Spoilers, Nick.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe?
Spoiler
What's
alert.
kayfabe?
Keep kayfabe, Nick.
Keep
What's
kayfabe.
kayfabe?
Get on your wrestling terms. All right, Nick. Let's.
So
Talk about
my
you,
store championship, I brought 2 wide nonsense. I brought
2 wide nonsense is not a term, people. If you listen to this podcast, please do not use the term 2 wide nonsense. It's not real. It's a fictional term by a fictional man.
So I brought Upside Down Obi Maz, which is Kylo 2 Bala, and I went 2-3 with it, which was much better than I expected. One of the 3 games I lost was actually really close. It was basically down to 1 action between the 2 of us who would get the damage. The other 2 games, I got train wrecked by Sabine decks. But yeah, it was fun. I didn't really play anything too out of like the ordinary. I played a Sabine Ezra, a Yoda Sabine. I played an Obi Maz, which was really fun because it was like a mirror match almost, but shields versus super aggro. Then I played Rayla, which was the close one, and my first round was Boa Phasma, which I destroyed. I don't know how it happened. I got really lucky with my draws and rolls.
Awesome. So that pretty much covers our store champs. As you can hear, we all pretty much ended up in the same spot, 2-3, 3-2, somewhere in that market range.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, no big deal.
12 players.
12
Top
out of
12.
36.
No big deal. Cough that one out a little bit. Just 12.
12.
Though the Cloud City Casual crew as a whole, there was prizes for up to top 32. We can proudly state that 2 members of our team did not land in that top 32.
Out of 35 people that stayed in this tournament.
Look, the Cloud City Casuals, we're not about winning. We're not about losing.
We're about middling.
We're about middling and having the most fun as you can, as has been told to me when we were at that Fargo Regionals.
Absolutely.
Oh, you with that Cloud City? Your crew is crazy.
We're crazy.
Did
Because-
someone tell you that?
Someone told Jason that.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're the triple C's.
Triple C's, baby.
That if you see us, say hi. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to make a lot of jokes, and we're going to act like a group of idiots.
And if you triple C us,
Ooh.
then you're in the group.
Ooh, that's how it is.
Actually, just because you brought up the Fargo one, there was someone who was playing Chewy Yoda at Fargo Regional, and that was a super fun deck to play against.
Ooh.
I just wanted to, because that one was super
You just want to do
goofy.
that call back.
That Chewy Yoda. Shoutouts to Chewy Yoda dude in Fargo, North Dakota. You know who you is.
He's Tom, I think, his name. We
Yeah,
met him at
Tom is his
the
name.
last Store Champ.
He met up with us
Yeah.
at the store champ.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He said he's going to come play out in the Outer Rim with us.
Really?
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. So here is normally where we would be starting to wrap up this podcast, getting in some plugs. Visit us on Twitter at Cloud City Casual, which none of us made that Twitter account yet. So we're going to hopefully have that Twitter account at Cloud City
We'll have it
Casual.
by
By
then.
episode 2, we will definitely have that Twitter account for the Cloud City Casuals. You can follow us on Facebook eventually. You can find us on YouTube at YouTube / a bunch of letters because we don't have our custom URL yet. But if you do search Cloud City Casuals, you will see no videos uploaded yet, but soon
Well,
you will see some
probably
amazing
this one.
videos.
Probably this one, because we can do podcast video too.
Nick, podcast is audio. You mean just put a blank background up and have it as a podcast?
Well, we'll have a background by then.
Nick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Cloud City Casuals. I've been your host, Hoover. You guys have an awesome night. Thank you.